Hello to the mighty Southland. My name is Jay Brad Britton. I'm your division manager, and this is a message to mostly new trainees, new training reps that are just getting started here as we have officially on the Vector calendar started the year 2023. I know on the normal calendar it's 2 days away, but in the Vector world, all sales that are happening now count for 2023. And I wanted to give you a little bit of a recognition for some things that have already happened, tell you a little bit about some of the business flow of our company. And I want to give you my best tip I can possibly give you on how to maximize your time with us here. So first of all, I want to recognize what's going on in on the team. And I'm going to do that by sharing this spreadsheet with you. And this is the sales that have been happening just this week. Okay. So the first week of the new year, you can see here we're led by a new rep right out of training named Nathan from the Long Beach team. And he's a little over 4,000 in sales for the week. He goes to University of California at Irvine. Okay, so this tells you what college they either go to or went to, how many orders they had, and then this right here column is the total sales. So new people right out of the gate here, just in the last 3 days on the job. Nathan's leading the way. Jolie from Covina is right here at the number 4 spot. Just a little bit farther down here, we've got from Anaheim, Alea. With 4 orders on the board and over $1,000. We've got Mission Viejo with Brandon here and he's another University of California young man here, UC Davis, a little over 1,000. And then you see also on the board Sienna, Julius, looks like Dalila, Mason, Anthony, Juno, Kyla, Andrew, Joel, Natalia, Sergio, Malak, probably Amraj, and Crystal. All these are new people. And then, of course, mixed in are some of our career salespeople. You see over here, it lists career sales. It takes this column maybe a day to catch up sometimes. So some of the sales haven't registered yet. But you can see some of our veterans, like Leah Eliopoulos. He's at $4.7 million in sales. He's a graduate of Chapman University. Connor Kelly here is 3.5 million. Michael Amaster at 4.9 million. It's a race to 5 million here between Leah and Michael. Look at that. Cal State Fullerton. So anyway, just great work, everybody. We've got over $34,000 in sales this week so far. And, New Year's Eve we have a decent amount of sales actually early in the day on New Year's Eve. We got all day today left. And then Sundays are usually a pretty good day for sales. And Monday is usually a great day for sales. So let me show you what's happening nationally. And I just want to help you understand the flow of the business here a little bit. Let's see. Look, this is how we want to look. So this is what's called a national sales report. Okay. So this is from November 30th of 2021, obviously a little over a year ago, but this is to show you, we have big sales in just like every retail company, big sales in November and December because of Christmas, right? This is Black Friday and all kinds of things. And we had a very solid sales week here, over $500,000, almost $600,000 in sales. You see right there in the last week of November. Big for the sales business, sales industry, right? Amazon's big, Macy's is big. Everybody's one of their biggest weeks. But in our business, things shift a little bit. Okay, and it's partly because we have students that when they have more time to work and more incentive to work, they do more demos. And in our business, it's whenever more demos happen, whenever more people see Cutco, more people buy Cutco. Oh, okay. Amazing revelation there, right? So this is the first week of January of 2022. So this is just 5 weeks basically after that last report that I showed you. And I want to show you the difference in the sales, 1.1 million, more than double the sales, right? Now, all the rest of the retail companies out there, they're feeling some of the people are got money for Christmas, or they are taking some things back and they're buying new things. But a lot of time that's a wash when it's back and forth. Ours is not a wash. People aren't returning Cutco and then buying other things with it, right? They're returning their other stuff that they got for Christmas and they're buying Cutco with it, right? This is what happens. So more than double. So this week that we're in is one of our best weeks up until the summer, when we have students that really work hard, super hard, because they've got all summer to make as much money as possible and have as much fun and get as much experience and learn. But check out what happens the next week, right? This is the first week of January, but look at what happens on average in the second week of January. It goes up even more, okay? Slightly bigger. And this is just because it's that last week for a lot of students before school starts, and they just want to, push themselves as hard as they possibly can. They've had lots of time off. They've been eating and having parties and going to do all those things. And that week right before school is a really great time to just say, you know what, just put everything else aside. I know I got a new video game for Christmas, but I'm going to play that at night when I can't do demos. But during the day, I'm going to make calls, I'm going to do demos, and I'm going to push myself as hard as I possibly can just for 1 week's time to see what we can do. Okay, and that's what a lot of reps will end up doing. And typically, actually, this is not as big of a jump as usually happens in that second week of January. So just wanted to show you that. Last thing I want to do is give you a tip, okay? And I get this tip from stats, all right? I'm big on looking at analyzing statistics and all different types of things. And I can tell you this, look, let me unshare for a second. Look, if you communicate with your manager, not just by text, but have live conversations every single day, that is the very best number one tip I can give you. Okay. Even if you don't think there's anything to say, having a conversation is helpful, right? No great coach ever led a team by text messaging, right? You watch football coaches, where are they at? They're right there on the field, right? Tiger Woods coach to helped him become a better golfer. Didn't text him, hey, look, I noticed that your swing was off. No, they're there. They're having conversations. They're helping the mindset. They're helping the work ethic, and they're just helping the person, make the right decisions moving forward. And that's the way coaching works, right? Coaching doesn't work on text messaging. So communication with your manager, that's number one. And then number two is following the training. Okay. And when I say following the training, it's not just reading the script. I know we emphasize that a lot, but following the training means showing the right people the product and showing it to them in the right environment, and just controlling all these little things about the demo that we can control. For example, we have influence over whether we see a husband and a wife together if they're married, right? Of course, we have influence over whether we do a demo to someone who's married or who's single, right? Married people typically buy more Cutco on average, right? It's not 100%, but on average. And what we want to do is teach you how to play the odds, how to make the best high percentage demos as possible, right? If you follow basketball, there's a high percentage shot and there's a low percentage shot. A high percentage shot's right underneath the basket. It's a layup, right? Or a dunk, right? That's a high percentage. They're going to make a lot of those. A half court shot is a low percentage shot, right? They might make them every once in a while, but you're not going to win a lot of games if somebody's just shooting half court all the time, right? And the coach is going to take somebody out of the game if they're just keep continuing to shoot half court, unless it's like the last second and they need to make the shot. So playing smart, it's how you win in sports. It's how you win in school. It's how you win in life. It's how you win in Cutco, playing smart. So I'm going to teach you just real quickly a little bit about how to play smart by looking at your statistics. Okay. This is the stats from this week's sales. Okay. Now, what I've got right here is for a big chunk of our division. Not everybody in our division uses this. There's two different programs that people are on, but the ones that use the pre-demo questions, where we actually find out about the customer, how old they are, roughly how old they are. We know whether it's a husband and a wife together or whatever. So what I do is I take this information and I put red and green spots and orange spots all over here. A red spot is a place where it makes me think that, well, this is a low percentage demo. For example, right here in the middle, part-time. Someone who's working part-time, that's a low percentage demo, right? That's not somebody who probably has their own kitchen. And I'm not trying to single out anybody or any particular demo. That's not what this is about. This is about averages. But that's a low percentage. If someone's not working, that's a low percentage. They're probably not going to buy, probably not worth the time and energy to go and do a demo for that person. Okay. But someone who works full time, someone who is there that has a husband in the demo, also that's good. That's positive, right? You might see some of these that are just one name. Like if they only put their first name, or you put the first name in that pre-demo thing, that's someone who's not taking it as serious. It doesn't feel as professional if you just use the first name. So use the first and last name. Make every effort to make it feel as professional as possible on your presentations, and people will take you more seriously. So this column right here, what brand of kitchen knives? You guys, this is a really important column, and you might not recognize it, but if you will ask the person at the beginning of the presentation, hey, grab your favorite knife, right? And if you're there in their house in a face-to-face demo, that's great. It's easy to grab it, and you can talk about it. But if it's on the Zoom, you have them grab their favorite knife and you look at it, right? And that way you can see the brand name on it, right? Because if it just says no brand, or Walmart or Target or local brand, that's someone who we didn't actually see their knife. Okay. And you should see their knife. Of course, if they're not at home, they don't have their knife there, then you can't see it. That's a lower percentage demo. Okay. So if we don't have a brand name, a lot of times I will lower the percentage of whether that should be a sale if we don't know the brand name, because you need to look and see, is it a wooden handle? Is it a plastic handle? Does it have 3 rivets? What is there about that knife, so you can kind of know what they already have. To not know what someone already has, but then to recommend something else for them, it's being a very good listener. It's not being in it for the customer, right? We need to know what are the things that they're dealing with, what are the current challenges they have, and just one way to know that is by what kind of knife they actually are using. So look at their knife, right? Mixed brands, unknowns. Don't make a big deal out of it. I shouldn't say that, but you should know what it is, and you should be able to help them understand what are the pros and cons of whatever they already do. Okay. So anyway, I go look at all these things, and then I basically put whether I think it's a low percentage demo or it's a high percentage demo. Okay. And I look at those things. And then what I do is I go and look at the sales actually that happened. And look, in the low percentage demos, look how many people didn't buy. There's a sale to a low percentage demo. Like there's a few of them. They're small, right? Small. But then when we get to the high percentage demos, look, you're going to see more frequency, a lot more frequency of orders. Okay. Just by showing better people. I started off in this business poorly. Okay. My first 20 appointments, I made one sale, okay. And that was to my mom. And she wasn't even really the most qualified person necessarily. But the fact is, it wasn't because I was doing a bad demo. Okay. I thought, oh, I'm failing. My manager hates me, right? I knew I was going to get fired. And I just thought, man, I'm doing so poorly. But when I went to my advanced trainings and I went to some other meetings, I started to realize that these people who were making a lot more sales than me, they weren't necessarily doing a better demo than me. Of course, we didn't know. I just wasn't showing the kind of person I ought to be showing, right? I showed a lot of single men, which is almost always a no sale. It's a very, very low percentage. And I just was seeing people that to me were easy to see. And I didn't really push myself to kind of, well, maybe I should, this person's probably more qualified. They probably cook more. They've got a nicer house. They've got a nice kitchen. They do some things. I'm not talking about how much money people have. That's one really important thing. But it is important that they work full time and they have a house or a kitchen or at least a place where they buy things for. Okay. So if someone doesn't have a kitchen, that's not a very high percentage demo. Homeowner is going to be better than an apartment owner or apartment renter usually, right? So those kinds of things. Now there's certain things I don't know, like I don't know how many of these people owned a home versus were in an apartment or a condo. I can't tell that from these statistics, but from what I can tell, there were 28 demos that we did to high percentage customers and 34 we did this week to low percentage customers. That's not a good ratio. Okay. That is kind of how I started. I wasn't really trying to make sales. I wanted to make sales, but I wasn't really trying to make sales because I wasn't really showing people that the best possible people that I could show. Right. I heard an example of someone this week that says, hey, can I do a demo to a person and can this other rep do a demo to the same person? Can we both get paid for that? That is not trying to benefit the company, right? That's trying to benefit me as the rep only, type of thing. So, being smart about who we're showing to and really trying to do a good job for the company, right? For ourselves. And the better we do for the company, the better we do for ourselves. And I'll show you that in a second. So we made 14 sales to high percentage demos. We made 5 sales to low percentage demos. Not so great, right? 50%, okay, of the people to higher percentage demos and only 15% to low percentage demos. And here's the average per demo: $163 we sold per demo done to higher percentage demos, and we sold 16 CPO to low percentage demos, right? So on the incentive side of things, just at the 10% level, we made $16 per demo, okay, versus $1.60 per demo, right? So what makes more sense to see, right? And when you include some of the promotions and people that went to 15% and 20%, we actually on the high percentage demos that we did as a group for our division, or for these people, this doesn't even include a few people that have well over 1,000 because they're on different program and they don't do this sheet. But the number is 25. It's a little over $25 per demo. Okay, so super positive that even in the very first week on the job, when people are still at the lower percentages, they're making more money per demo than the base pay. Okay, and that's the way it ought to be. The last thing I'll say on this is we did 3 demos to people under 30. We made 1 sale, which is higher than usual. Usually, it's like 10%. We actually had 6 demos done to people that were over 65 and retired, and we sold 33% of that, which is about normal. 8 demos done to people, to males by themselves, and 1 sale was made. I think that was the stats that I could tell. I can't always tell if it's a male or female based on just the first name. But full-time couples who work full-time, that all the information was filled out properly, we made 67% sales. Okay. So What's really important to know is if you want to sell, right, which hopefully you do because you're going to make a lot more money and the job's way more fun and the experience is more rewarding and more fulfilling, and you're helping people get an amazing product that they're going to use for decades and decades to come, and their kids are going to use it, their grandkids are going to use it. There's so many benefits to making sales. And you know, those of you that have had some sales and some no sales, sales are more fun. The customer has more fun. They're thanking you. They're happy, right? You're leaving the demonstration happier. They're leaving the demonstration happier. That's the goal. Let's make everybody happy. So our job is to do the best possible demo we can to the best possible customers that we can. And we're going to see those numbers go up, up, up. I'm super excited about, for many of you, will be your second week on the job, and just looking forward to you learning and growing. And hopefully you'll have some struggles and some challenges and some days that are really, really challenging, right? We don't have bad days. We have character building days, because if you're building your character, you're getting out of this job what you ought to get out of the job. Okay. Push yourself hard this week. Allow your manager to push you this week. Your manager tries to be nice. They don't want to like rag on you and nag you to do demos, but that's probably what they should do, right? They should do that because their job is to help you get the most out of yourself, get the most out of the job, and help the most customers get this great product we call Cutco. Everybody, not just we call Cutco. Everybody calls it Cutco, right? Don't just think about it and don't just talk about it. I want you to be about it. See ya.